How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm full of energy. So,
Actually, me too. I'm actually feeling really good today. I must be in a great phase of my monthly cycle. What is there's like
I hate this. You know what?
that one
Whoever
week,
invented that needs to be punished. It's
the,
terrible.
the 1 week where you feel normal and everything
Yeah.
aligns. The universe is conspiring for your good.
It's my favorite week with you, honestly.
What am I like all the other weeks?
Oh, I don't want to say I love you.
Well, thank you for being patient with me.
It's a ride.
I don't doubt it,
I also
honestly.
really like hibernation week for you.
I
Like
love
every time I call you, I was taking a nap, you're in a blanket, you have like a hoodie on, and I'm like, oh, she's really going
it's
through it.
going through it this week. Yeah, yeah. I love that perimenopause though and menopause are like part of the social conversation now
Yeah.
because so many women were just gaslit. I mean, we're still gaslit. Let's not get too crazy here, okay? Obviously, it's just anxiety most of the time.
Or we're
Like,
just being bitchy. Like we're just choosing to be bitchy. And it's like,
choosing to be terrible. Yeah.
I wish I could make that choice and also not suffer anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Be great.
Yeah, the older I get, the more I understand the witch archetype of just the woman trying to just live her life out in the forest in her cottage, right? Tending to her
Yeah.
herbs. And then these fucking kids come around, they try
It's,
to mess with your stuff. These people come
yeah.
into the forest. Like, oh, man, I for
Have you
sure.
seen those TikToks with the ravens that can legit talk? They can say like hello and stuff
I
like that. Like
have.
I'm
Yes, it's
thinking, obviously, yeah,
terrifying.
they're linking. I think they're like, okay, the woods weren't haunted. They just had ravens that were
Raven.
mimicking like humans.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really good. If you guys haven't seen that,
I
Google
used to love
ravens
it.
talking. Have fun. Enjoy that rabbit hole because it's incredible.
Well, yeah, because they don't sound like parrots. Like the
No, like when you hear a bird, it's like,
yeah,
hello, hello.
right.
These ravens are like, good morning.
Yeah,
And
yes,
you're like, what the fuck was that? Are
it
you kidding? Am
sounds
I being
like
trolled right now? Like, there's no way.
a human voice
Yeah, it's actually like a kind of seductive voice too.
that you like.
I don't know. I might be into ravens.
Might be into the ravens. We're gonna, you know what? You should get Graham
Can
a
I tell you something
raven
though?
outfit.
Hold on. This is something that was bothering me this morning.
Okay. Oh, is it
Okay.
about me? I'm scared.
No, it's
I'm kidding.
about
Okay.
birds. Are you ready to
Okay.
hear it? Okay. I mean, of course it's about you, but because you're my bestie and that's my life revolves around you.
Yes. Yes.
So, just like when you make a bestie, right? Then you
Uh-huh.
start caring about them
Yes.
in ways you're like, why the fuck do I care this much? Like, it hurts me to care this much.
It
Okay.
does.
I had a bird phobia
Mhm.
until about 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago,
Right.
at which point I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Mhm.
So I was, I
Just
cured myself. Okay,
you locked
this is
in.
actually a good segue because this episode we're going to be discussing how we became friends, and maybe me telling you this story will help kind of the listener understand me in general. I was like,
She
I'm
was
tired of being,
also afraid of me, and then she said, "You know what?
I was like,
No
I
more."
am afraid of birds. I'm going to go buy some. So I was at Cal Ranch and they had the chicks, the little baby chicks were out.
Mhm.
Normally I walk by like a haunted house, like me and my son would walk by and I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, that one's doing something with its
Right.
leg. Like they're kind of cute,
Mhm.
terrifying though, because I had a bird phobia. And
Yeah.
so I was like,
We actually have a really great video of you with
oh, you
my
know what?
kiddo and your kiddo. If you're
We should
comfortable,
tag that. We should
maybe
tag
you
it.
can
That's
post
really
it.
good.
Yeah, you can post it on
Okay.
our Instagram.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay. So what happened was you can't just buy one baby chick. Like there's a minimum number. So I
Mhm.
ended up buying five.
That is going all in. Like, that's
My
a
son was
basketball
with
team.
me and he was literally like, Mom, what are you going to do when you like realize you can't do it? And I was like, I will find them a home. Like someone will
Mhm.
take these things that someone will think they're cute.
Yeah.
Long story short, I loved my little chickens. It took me a little
Mhm.
while to warm up to them and vice versa. I was like, they're just as scared as me. Okay.
Yeah.
So my chickens then got me like, I'm like, okay, these chickens are my friends. I'm feeling this sense of something with them.
Mhm.
And then as we started building this house, I remember distinctly, I was still in therapy with my, um, me and my therapist were not on a break at that point. I was still in it
Mhm.
with him.
Yeah.
And I remember I had come to this property because we were getting like a delivery of lumber or something. And so I was out here, we had poured the concrete slab
Mhm.
and I was just parked out here waiting for the lumber to get delivered and it was snowing. It had started to snow.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I got outside of my car and I was standing on the slab like of the house and I was just
Mhm.
watching the snowfall and like thinking about how amazing it was. And I closed my eyes for a couple minutes and then when I opened them, there were two ravens like flying, like circling over the property, like
Oh,
checking it out.
yeah.
And that was the first time in my life that my immediate response to seeing birds flying overhead,
Mhm.
normally I would have been like, don't fucking peck my eyes out. Like,
Yeah.
they're waiting for me to die.
Yeah.
Something is gonna, like, I don't, all irrational, right? It's a
Right.
phobia.
Yeah.
So, my first thought when I saw these ravens was, I wonder if I have a snack for them in my car.
What?
And at that moment, I was like, what the fuck was that?
Something has shifted here. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that is
Mhm.
not my brain talking to me. I knew
Right.
immediately.
Yeah. It was
And so
something
then
else.
I was just like, the fuck did Jeff do to me? Like my therapist,
Yeah.
right? I was
Yeah.
like, this
Well,
guy has now implanted something. No, I'm just kidding.
cast
Like,
a spell on you.
we've done something impactful. And I had just done like some EMDR sessions and some other stuff in
Uh-huh.
that. Okay. So that was really cool. But so now that we've moved here,
Mhm.
my partner actually built me a feeding platform for the raven. So it's off the ground. We found out like they're scared to land on the ground. They're a little spooked. So we built like a 4 foot tall platform where I will put
Mhm.
snacks out there for them, and then they will actually come in
Yeah.
during the day. We have a couple of them
Mhm.
like. Did you know that a group of ravens is called an unkindness?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. A group of crows is called a murder. A group of
Knew that
ravens is called
one.
an unkindness.
Huh.
So we have a couple of couples, right? Because they are
Mhm.
mated pairs
Okay.
that will come in. And we have one that came back with their babies. Like, so it's their third
Oh,
wheal.
yeah.
But they come in throughout the day and they do whatever. So I've now put out some more bird feeders. I've got some hummingbirds. I got some bird seed. We've got all kinds of things, baby quails or whatever. And I was like scrolling on TikTok and somebody was like, you know how once you start feeding birds, you can't stop or else they'll die? And I was just like, what?
What?
I gotta go. Like, I haven't gotten a chance to Google it yet, but like, all I could think about was like, what if these poor birds die now because I'm giving them food and water?
Oh my, how long do they live?
Yeah, I see. I'm not a bird expert. I'm just like a
Right? Yeah,
connoisseur, or
I'm
not a
just
connoisseur. I'm like a
wondering,
casual observer. Yeah.
enthusiast?
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to do a lot more research on this topic specifically, and hope that if that is true, the birds I am feeding are on like their last 6 or 7 months. Anyway,
Well, that's
it's
what
a
I'm
big financial commitment.
my concern is, like, are you going to be able to outlive these birds? You know, like, what is their
So I
lifespan?
know ravens live a really long time, but
Okay.
they're just getting a snack from me. Like I'm
Okay.
not supplying them
Not a
their
full
like
meal. I gotcha.
daily seeds.
Okay.
But I have these cute little house finches.
Mhm.
They come over every day. They chirp it up. They're like getting thistle from this sock thing that you get.
Yeah.
A lot. Like they're getting to the point, though the house finches and these little towies, the canyon towies, they
Mhm.
will come within like 5 feet of me.
Oh, you're like
And
Snow White out there.
I look, I'm trying. Like, okay, we have these brown-headed. Okay, this is not a bird podcast. If you're just joining, this is not a bird podcast.
This is actually a bird podcast, and we want to welcome you.
Okay, there are these birds, the brown-headed cowbird.
Uh-huh.
So they're like like you probably see them in the parking lots, right? There's like a grackle that's usually there, but these
Mhm.
brown-headed cowbirds are just like they look like a blackbird. There's a bunch of them. If you look closely, their head is actually brown, not black, but they have a
Okay.
lot of iridescent colors in their wings. They're really pretty. They have a beautiful sound. Their call is really cute.
Okay. What does it
They
sound like?
Oh, don't ask me. It kind of sounds electronic, like maybe a water drop. Like it's a
Okay.
really cool sound. Google it.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it.
Brown-headed cowbird.
Okay.
They lay their eggs in other birds' nests. They don't make their own nest. They're probably laying their eggs in the house finch's nest, and those birds end up getting bigger. They push the babies of the parent, like the foster parent. They murder the foster parent's children so that they can. So they're basically deadbeat parents. They like lay their
What?
egg and let another bird raise them.
Oh my god. There's a lot of psychology here.
Listen,
Maybe on this bird podcast, we can correlate personality disorders with bird types.
Yeah. So I have a
Are
book,
they
and every day I'm
yeah.
like, oh, there's a new thing that we came in. Like we've got this it's called a grosbeak. It's blue. He's very handsome. His girlfriend, plain as could be. But
Yeah.
so when I get in there, I'm like, ooh, tell me more about the grosbeak. Oh, it could look like this other thing, right? And because I'm a researcher at heart, I get
Correct.
real into the book. So then I was like, oh, what other kind of birds lay that specific kind of nest, right? And that brought me back to this cowbird. And I was just like, okay, they're deadbeat parents, but I kind of respect that they're just like, we don't care.
Yeah.
And also, there's so many of them out there. I feel like I might be able to tame them and like walk, like, because there's like 40 of them.
Take them for walks like a quail.
Yeah, yes,
like a quail
I want. Yeah, like you go to the Reed Park Zoo and the ducks follow you. Yeah. Like I want I want to be walking my property and have like a flock of brown-headed cowbirds following me. It's my goal. I don't know, like there's got to be a specific seed that they like better than the other ones that I can be like, come on, guys, come and get it.
Your front yard at this point, like I've watched you build all of these bird, sanctuary areas, like we got the raven stand, and then we got like the bird feeder, and then we got like the little, all these things.
Other bird feeder.
Your front yard is basically like an aviary now.
Like, it is, and that's that's part of my like mindfulness in the morning, though, is it's become kind of my self-care routine. I get up in the morning, I get my coffee, I go sit on the porch, I watch these birds, and something I didn't realize, which I think is pretty fascinating, is they have their own time schedule. Like when I get up in the morning, the dove are out there. Then the quail start trickling in. It's like 6:45, 6:50, the grosbeak come in. Then after 7, we have this like kingbird that comes in, right? Like, so they come there. I'm like, where is your clock? Do you know how many fingers past the mountains the sun has to be for it to be breakfast time for you? Like, I don't know what's going on, but it is fascinating.
Actually, it is. So I watched, speaking of just kind of like, how do you know? Do you have like, how do they know what time of day? What is signaling this thing? I watched something. I don't remember at all what the show is called.
Surprise.
I know. If I remember, we'll put it in
just kidding.
The comments or something. It was a nerdy show on Netflix, but they were tracking these birds, and these birds would migrate from like the north to south, basically, and they couldn't figure out the they would leave at different times. Like the time that they would migrate was different,
like every year.
Every year, yeah, and they couldn't figure out what
did it line up with weather patterns though?
Like
they were holding off.
Yes, they were holding off until hurricane season. It was related to hurricane season.
Are you talking about that Disney movie, the migration movie?
No. No, but that's actually a really great movie.
You're like, I saw this documentary
I
about these
actually
cartoon ducks.
on Disney. It's very colorful, very realistic. No. So yes, but they couldn't figure out what the weather, like how are they registering the weather pattern? Is it like the pressure change? Like how do they know? Because somehow they knew. And yes, they tagged a bunch of them, and they ended up finding out that it was related to the hurricane season. So they could actually better predict where
Meteorologists are using bird migration patterns.
bird
Oh my
migration
gosh.
patterns. Yeah.
I love this.
Um,
You have to remember what that was. I want to
I
watch it if I
know.
didn't already.
But this is I don't know what we were going to talk about today, but
Our friendship.
I'm gonna
Friendship.
sidetrack this for a
Okay,
minute.
go. I'm
I am
ready.
getting really excited about this. Um,
Me
so
too.
yes, so nature, right, is something that we witness ourselves in. So like we can look at that and we can say, oh, they have all of these senses to sense pressure and weather and light and sound and like all of this stuff. So when we let ourselves be in nature, like you sitting outside every morning, you're starting to recognize the pattern that each of these birds is following. They all have their own unique rhythm, right? Like, so there's this sense of you being reflected back by you watching these birds because you can be like, oh, they have a rhythm. What's my rhythm? Oh, they do this. And so there's this like reflection of us and our liveliness, our aliveness in the birds. And I was reading something recently that was talking about how we're using technology to mediate our natural experiences so much that we don't have ourselves reflected like we used to when we were in nature, like when we were like with birds and like with the ocean and we're paying attention to like the summer solstice and the winter solstice and like the rhythms of the earth, right?
Yeah.
And so these birds just like it just kind of reminded me of like our technology is giving us a false sense of knowing ourselves and like mirroring it like back to us, but it's like all fake. So we're just the only way to get that sense of aliveness back is by sitting with the birds.
Yeah.
Being in nature and going to the lake and going to like it's so healthy and so good to learn about how alive everything is around us to like
One
keep
of
us
the most powerful places. So this is not a woo-woo podcast in the sense that we're not preaching about the summer solstice, but
if by woo woo you mean bird.
this is also not a bird podcast. So there have been a couple places, like when I used to love to go camping up in northern Arizona and
Mhm.
watch the aspen trees. Like there's something, it's like the Sparklets water truck, or when you see like the sequins, they kind of just
Yeah.
shimmer. Those trees make such a beautiful glisten. But
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, my partner and I took a trip to Seattle for Christmas,
Yeah.
and we went to the Hoh rainforest.
Oh my gosh.
And we were the only ones there. It was Christmas. It's like the day after Christmas. Like we literally took a Christmas trip, and so it was between Christmas and New Year's. And walking into that forest, like we talk about being in nature and just being more in tune with your body.
Mhm.
Walking into that rainforest, the sounds of the rain, the smell, like there was a
Mhm.
stream, there were salmon spawning, like it was the most magical place I had ever been. But you can literally feel the energy of the
Mhm.
forest.
100%.
Those trees have been there forever, right? And
Mhm.
it is like someone that can go into those kind of environments and not
Mhm.
have any kind of feeling or not
Mhm.
be just like in awe
Moved by
of,
yeah.
yeah, like emotionally. Like I remember I looked over at my partner and he was just holding his hand on a tree and he was just weeping. Like it not like, I mean, I don't want to make him sound like a pansy. He's a great guy. No, he's really
He's
tough,
very
you guys.
strong, very, very
But
masculine.
You feel so connected in that moment. It's impossible not to have like an emotional response to just we're so I don't use a blessed, but
Mhm.
we get to experience things like that.
Mhm.
And it was just, oh, man, I could have sat out there forever.
Yeah.
We were literally, I think we were there out there probably for 45 minutes to an hour before we saw
Mhm.
another couple,
Yeah.
but it was dead silent. You
Mhm.
couldn't hear anything except nature living its life.
Mhm. Yeah.
And we were the watchers of that. And it was just so, like, I just almost got shivers thinking about it. Oh,
Yeah.
it was just so energetic and like healing in a way that is so hard to explain
It
if you haven't
it's,
experienced it.
it's such an embodied experience because like you said, you'll have this experience of when you see something beautiful, right? Like when you're in awe of creation, like you look at the Grand Canyon and it's beyond when you're actually standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. You're just kind of like, oh my, there's a sense of awe, like that this
Yeah.
thing is so great and so big. Or you're standing in front of an ocean, you recognize the vastness of the ocean, like your mind can't even comprehend. Like I remember we just had the solar eclipse here in Texas, the total solar eclipse, a couple years ago, and I literally cried. I don't know. It was one of the most moving experiences in nature I have ever had. Like we were on kind of by this pond. We were at a winery. We were at like, you know, in this beautiful setting. It's the middle of the day, and the sky turns black, and all you see is literally just this ring because it's a total eclipse, and the frogs started cricketing because they thought it was
They thought it was
nighttime,
night. Yeah.
and the crickets started cricketing, and all of the night sounds emerged at like noon in the middle of the day because they thought it was nighttime. And it was like this shift from like you the world can feel so chaotic, right? It can feel so out of control, and like I think in that moment you're like, there is an order here, right? Like
Yeah.
there is a rhythm, like there is an order. And then when you're standing in the middle of it, like when you're in the middle of the forest or I'm witnessing this eclipse, it's like a reminding, at least for me, that I am also part of this creation. Like I am not separate from this creation. I am literally made of the same atoms and the same energy and the same, I'm not separate from the universe. I'm part of this divine order. I can take this energy with me of creating and comfort. And um so I agree, there's this embodied sense of awe that happens that you can only get in nature. I don't think I've ever had a feeling like that with anything outside of nature that I can think
Maybe
of.
music. Maybe
Like
music has
music is a big
sparked that a
one.
couple of times.
Mhm.
Um,
Um, having my children was definitely not so much. Every child obviously is a miracle, right? But I think my first one, like having my first child, it was just such a surreal, bizarre experience that like I don't know what to expect. I've never done this before. And there's like a baby that's gonna be born, but the minute that I had a C-section, like the minute they pulled her out and I heard her cry, it was like this immediate sense of gratitude and just love and awe, like, oh my god, like there's actually another soul, like there's like a human here that wasn't here like 30 minutes ago. Right? It's crying, it's got things to say. So I definitely remember like when my first one was born that it was just it was not an experience you necessarily have again because I've already had it with the first one, right? The
yeah.
second one, kind of know what to expect. But it
The
was just
level of responsibility that comes with both of those, though, like, right? You just created this new life that you have to take care
Mhm.
of, or you go into section of the earth, right? That's
Mhm.
thankfully been protected by somebody
Yeah.
so that we can see that. And you just think, we have a responsibility here too to just nurture this and make sure that it
Mhm.
continues on. And so
Yeah.
having that feeling of responsibility to that as
Mhm.
well, or accountability to that, really, I think just
Yeah.
gives us a really good sense of, why are we here, especially when times get, tough.
Mhm. Yeah, there's actually, one of the most interesting things, something I like to read about a lot is suffering and despair, and how do we make sense out of it. And a lot of people think that the antidote to despair is joy. Um, it, the antidote to despair isn't joy. It's not like just having fun, because that really doesn't work. Because you'll have fun, but then you go straight back to despair afterwards, right? But the antidote to despair is actually the feeling of awe. So we found that, like, when people are having experiences of despair, like, and despair a lot of times is can lead to suicidal ideation. Like, I don't want to be here. There's no purpose for living. I'm alone, and my life is meaningless. These kind of feelings. The feeling of awe tends to kind of rewire that, and it kind of does provide this sense of, wow, this is so cool that I get to see this or witness this or experience this. So, like, finding moments to create awe in your life is, like, so important. And it doesn't have to be like going and being in like a grand forest. It could literally be creating an aviary in your front yard.
Bird watching in your front yard in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watching how these animals interact with each other is
Mhm.
amazing. The ravens have made friends with my chickens. I
Really?
think they might want to eat them, but I'm
Yeah.
pretending that it's like they're being best friends. They're separated
That's so
by
funny.
the chicken wire, but the ravens will actually fly down and
Yeah.
they'll like talk to each other through the fence. Like, it seems friendly.
Yeah.
I don't speak bird, so I don't know for sure, but I'm going to pretend, because I get to choose, because I don't speak the
Right.
language, based off
Perfect.
of the body language, that
Hmm.
it's play. It's play.
I can't wait to see the ending of this story.
If my chickens get eaten by the ravens, I'm going to be torn, because some of the chickens I love as much as the ravens. Can I tell you
Mm.
this, though? There's a
Yeah.
really weird thing that's happening. This is a psychological thing. So,
Okay.
okay. So when I got the chickens, one of my
Hmm.
chickens' name is Copper. Okay.
Okay.
Copper's one of the OG chickens. She's part of that original 5.
Okay.
I have 9 chickens now, because after I got the first 5, I was like, well, obviously I need more.
Obviously.
And so I got this second group of chickens,
Uh-huh.
which at one point, one of the chickens is named Best Friend, because when it was a baby, it like loved me, and now it hates
Uh-huh.
me. It won't even come near me. But so we have like Copper and Goldie,
Not like a premonition.
right? So annoying. Better not. If you leave me, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay.
I would never.
So they were twins. One was named Best Friend and the other one was not Best Friend.
Mhm.
Okay. And then we have Goldie and Copper. They're the 2 OGs from the original 5. One ended up being a rooster. I had to rehome. And then 2 were getting beat up by Copper. And so gave them to my dad. Those also both turned out to be roosters. So I
Oh,
think I actually won on that.
yeah.
So I have the 2 originals, and then I
Mhm.
got a bunch of other chickens. Copper was like the badass bitch of the coop,
Yeah.
right? She
She was
like
the
kept
the
everybody
lead.
reined in
Yeah.
and was like, do not run in the house. Like, she
Mhm.
was very good.
What is the name
There,
for There's actually a name for that. Isn't that like the top hen? There
sure.
I think there's
Queen
queen
hen of the
hen.
coop.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I know there's a pecking order though.
There's,
I do
yes.
know
Okay.
there's a
So
pecking order.
here's what happened.
Yeah.
One of these other fucking chickens,
Oh man.
it's an unnamed chicken. Like,
Mhm.
she is a what is that? Like a non player in, what are they called in the video games? Like, they don't even
Oh,
get
like
a,
an NPC?
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay,
She's an
gotcha.
NPC. Okay.
Okay.
Or at least she was.
Mhm.
It was like the white one. Like, we don't
Right.
care.
Yeah.
She's not even cool enough to get a name. This
Right.
bitch has decided, I fucking rule this roost. And she has made Copper The victim, like every time, like I had to feed Copper her worms, like secretly in another, like, because she would still come to me.
Yeah.
But like I'm now going out of my way to make sure my original bossy bitch hen is still getting love, because I
Right.
would put the worms down, and white chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate her. Anyway, I literally I caught her the other day and I just threw her out of the coop. I was like,
You
fuck
don't get
you.
to be in the coop anymore.
I hate you.
You are now free range.
I really don't like bullies. There's a difference between flat out bullying and then like having to be bossy sometimes, right?
Yeah.
This bitch is just like plucking the feathers out for no reason. Copper was like literally eating, and the chicken like just jumped on her and was like pecking her in the head, and I was like, fuck you. So I had to regulate on that chicken.
Yeah.
Anyway, I liked it better when Copper was the bitch. And watching her now in this abusive relationship, I don't know what to do.
I don't know.
I literally told Graham, like, I'm gonna wring this chicken's neck. Like, I didn't realize, again, how do I have these feelings for these birds?
Edible? Maybe you, I mean, we eat chickens.
I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just, every day, I'm just like, why do I have so much emotion about these damn chickens?
It's
hate it.
I love it. It's Real Housewives of chicken coop out there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we've gone 30 minutes in on this story of how we became friends
on this bird podcast.
It's all related though. I thought the nature walk was going to be a great tie-in, but
I'm sorry.
Let's get into it.
I'm really excited about it. So go ahead.
All right.
Tell us what we're talking about today.
Okay. Today we're going to tell you guys how April and I became friends. How our friendship blossomed.
Yeah.
So it all started back in 2010. Man, that was so long ago. So long ago.
A long time ago.
My ex-husband and I were celebrating our 1-year anniversary, and we were very poor. And so we didn't have any money. So we were going to church at the time, and we had heard about this couple that had been at the church at one point, and then they were coming back, and there was like some like they need help moving, and we were like, we're not fucking helping anybody move. We don't care about this couple.
There is nothing.
Do not ask me to help you move.
Less than moving. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we were like, hey, let's do like a backpacking trip, like somewhere we can get out in nature. I knew about this like hot spring that was in the middle of nowhere. And so I was like, let's go see if we like can budget do this trip, right? Because we maybe had $300 extra money. So we like went to Big Five. We bought a couple cheap things that we could have. And then we kind of just did like a, hey, anybody that's going to this church that may have camping equipment, we're looking for some items, some key items. And so you and John were like, hey, we actually have like a water filter, which I think was one of the things that you're looking for, and like a mess kit. And you're like, we just got back from hiking into the Grand Canyon. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So my ex-husband and I got home, we were kind of talking about it, and we were like, instead of just like borrowing their stuff, should we just like have them come with us? And of course he was like,
so much about y'all personalities, and like I love that. Like, this is an anniversary trip, right?
1-year anniversary, and I'm like, let's bring these strangers. They seem so nice.
Don't know to come along with us. I love it. I love that sense of openness.
Your kindness in the 2-minute conversation that we had at church, and your husband's, like, I was just like, I don't know, they seem pretty cool. I was like, let's like hang out with them a day and like make sure that this isn't going to be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So we had you guys over, and then we invited you. You're like, hey, do you guys want to just come with us? And you guys were like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we do.
It's like, they're just as crazy as us. So.
We were like, hell yeah, we want to go camping with you. We don't know you. This sounds
we don't know shit about you, but you seem cool.
we're gonna find out real fast because all of us are gonna be shitting in the woods.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to know each other.
Yeah. So we hung out like twice, and it was like an hour after church, 2 times.
Yeah.
Then we all piled into our truck and drove like 7 hours
Mm-hmm.
to the starting point of this backpacking adventure.
Yeah. Also, that is insane.
Did
Like,
the
not only
truck like get stuck in a wash? I remember
It
having to
did.
put a bunch of rocks into the back of the truck.
it did get stuck, and we had to pick up a bunch of rocks to
A
weigh
whole bunch
down
of
the back
rocks.
of the truck.
It
Yeah.
was not a 4-wheel drive truck. We probably shouldn't have taken it. Like there was, we got a map. But there was not really any like recon that had happened before we decided to go on this adventure. We were just like, well, we'll see what happens when we get there.
Mhm.
So we get there and we hike in the first day, and we realize, like, I don't know, in the first 2 hours after we've crossed the river, I don't know, 20 times, we're hiking in a canyon. And there's a river that's just literally snaking from one side of the canyon to the other side of the canyon. So we thought there would be like a trail on the side of the river, but it was like so we were like, water shoes, hiking shoes, water shoes, hiking shoes.
Our feet were.
We made it like maybe 3 miles. We did not make it very far at all. Everything was soaked. Our feet were pruny.
Yeah.
Somebody lost a hiking stick. Was it my ex-husband that lost a hiking stick?
Probably.
I think it was.
I think it was, yeah.
And so we set up our first camp.
Well,
our
here's
camp
how
night.
we decided where to set up our first camp. But we were about to cross another part of the river, and up ahead we see a giant bear.
Yeah.
I mean, it was huge. It was far from where we were, and it still looked huge.
Oh, I'm gonna see if I can find that picture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the picture of us on the hiking trip, and I'm gonna find the bear. I'm gonna get it in this video.
And it was like right in the path we would have to walk.
The exact direction in that cavern that we're walking. Like there's nowhere to go other than between these two cliffs, and they're like 40 feet minimum. It was a mini Grand Canyon we were hiking in.
It was. Is it the Blue Mountains? Is that?
Yeah. The Blue Wilderness area in Arizona.
And so we were just like, no, we're not going to risk getting mauled by a bear with strangers this day.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to just post up here. This is where we're camping. This is our spot.
Also, the trail started. We parked at an abandoned ranch that was literally called the Triple X Ranch.
I forgot about that.
We're like, what are we getting ourselves into? Like, this is going to be something crazy is about to happen. Yeah, so we set up camp out of necessity because we were like, the bear just ran the way we're supposed to be going, and I'm not trying to be eaten alive or whatever. Really, I don't want to disturb the bear. He's trying to live his life. So we roasted our socks to like try to dry our socks and shoes. Because we were not, professional campers. I think our bags weighed like 60 pounds each. We had like full-on cans of like baked beans. We were like backpacking and we had so much. That first night, remember, we opened our bags and just like took an inventory of all the food that we had brought for a 2 or 3 day hiking trip. We were like,
it was so much food.
Week worth of groceries for 4 people. We're just carrying it.
I love it.
Oh my god. So we camped the first night. Did we just decide to go back were we like, did we throw in the towel on night 1?
Yeah, I think we didn't want to go towards the bear. We were all
the next day we were like, let's just hike back towards the truck.
Because we were like, what if the bear's den is over there? What if there's like a baby over there? Like, I don't even think we had bear spray or anything. I don't remember us bringing any bear spray. And we had all that food. We literally had a pantry of food. So we were like,
a month's supply of food for the bear. Yeah.
So we said, hey, let's just go back. Let's just hike the 3 miles back. I don't remember how many hours we hiked. It took us.
It was so freaking long.
It was a long time of hiking because of those crossing that river, creek, whatever.
We left pretty early. Yeah. So we got back to like the truck, but we were going to camp that night because it was kind of late, and like the road to drive in was like 30 miles on a washboard road that
Yeah. It was barely a road.
really sketchy. Like, I was actually scared we weren't going to make it out of there. I was like, we might have to walk. I don't know. No cell phone service. Like, it was an adventure. So we set up camp.
A lot, like when you think about all of the, twists and turns on that trip, psychologically, we're dealing with a lot. How everybody's managing frustration, exhaustion, flexibility, at adapting, teamwork.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot happening here with people.
I remember you also got shy anus and you couldn't poop for the whole time we were out there.
No, I'm not pooping out there. Heck no.
Yeah. Did we just camp the first night? I feel like we were out there for more than 2 nights, but maybe not. Maybe we camped the first night and then hiked out the second day and then hiked back the second day.
I feel like we did do like 3 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the third night though. This is the monumental night.
Okay.
So we had hiked back to the truck, but we were going to camp overnight so that we could leave the next morning like in daylight. So if we got stuck, we could, use our problem solving skills with daylight rather than our flashlight batteries that were about to be dead.
Right.
And we were sitting around the fire and we were just talking, like, I don't remember what we were talking about, just random stories. It was like somebody had to go poop under a rock. Don't flip over the big rock. That's the one I pooped under, like literally we've known each other for 30 hours.
48 hours.
So I remember I said, so this stupid fucking bitch that I used to work with, and you started laughing so hard. You like almost fell off of your log that you were
my log.
on.
Yeah.
Like, so I was trying to tell you a story about this bitch that I worked with at the sheriff's office. I used to be a 911 dispatcher and she like fucking hated me because I was me. Like, she just didn't like me. Yeah. I made a joke one time, like, oh my God, you guys, I spelled emergency right on my first try. I'm a genius. And she was like, you're not a fucking genius. Like, she just got so like mad and offended about it. I was like, oh, okay. So I was trying to tell you that story, but I don't think I got to finish it because as soon as I said, so this stupid fucking bitch that I used to work with, and you just died laughing. Which, of course, made me laugh because your laugh is very contagious.
Yeah.
And then the guys started laughing. And then it was just like 30 minutes of contagious laughter, probably from sleep deprivation and exhaustion, whatever it was. We all just felt like super connected in that moment. And I was like, all right, these people are pretty cool. Right. Like, I think even more validation than like that first, couple minutes conversation.
I think for me, when you said that, I was just like, one, it was just completely unexpected. Like, it was just because it was just quiet. We were like just by the fire. I think it was just really quiet, and
it's my comedic timing.
We were all tired. We were just kind of hanging out, and then just out of nowhere, it was just So the stupid fucking bitch, and it was just like, where did that like? So many things. Like, one, I love her candidness and honesty and humor and courage to just be who she is, even though she doesn't really know me, because you had no way of knowing how I would respond.
I knew that you went to church and that you sang at the church, and it's really hard. Like, sometimes it's hard, depending on what church you go to or what religion you're in, it's really hard to have authentic relationships with people that are for sure better than you, right? Or at least that's the perception that they're putting out. I'm like, they've never been mad at their kids once.
One time.
I can just tell. You could tell because you talk to them and they're like, I love them. They're my favorite thing in the world. And I'm like, oh, we're not gonna, like, that's great for you. Not me, though.
So I think, there is this, we were both deeply invested in church culture at that time. So, there is this expectation when you're in those spaces that you're going to behave a certain way, or you're not going to say certain things, you're not going to talk about certain topics. We used to joke a lot of times when when I was in the church about making new friends and trying to decide if they were like the drinking Christians or the non-drinking Christians. And
Yeah.
they said the
What
way you
kind of
find,
game night are you having if
are
if
we
you invite them?
cursing? Are we not cursing? We used to say like the way you find out if they're drinking or non-drinking is you ask to see the garage. Like
Oh yeah.
hiding
Yeah.
anything that's gonna be in there. So we're navigating not only like just trying to get to know each other as people, but then also trying to navigate the kind of how much that religiosity is dictating the way that you live and present yourself, and are you
Yeah.
going to be able to be authentic and honest?
Authenticity, I think, is the key there. Is
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, it was. And I think at that point I was so tired I didn't care. I was like,
yeah.
whatever, I'm gonna talk about this thing that I'm annoyed about that just came to my mind for no reason
Yeah.
with these people. And if they
Uh-huh.
don't like it, then we're at the last day of this trip now. There's nothing like I don't think I would have opened with that story, but
Right.
we were coming to a close and it was like,
We only
I'm
had
gonna
7
test these
hours left in the
waters. Yeah,
car after that.
exactly. Right. Listen, I have had okay, I'm gonna do a side story.
Okay.
My brother was
Mhm.
dating this girl and we
Mhm.
went tubing on the Salt River.
Mhm.
And halfway down that float, if any of you guys have ever gone tubing down the Salt River, you like get dropped off by a bus and you have to, however long it takes the river to get you back to the other parking lot is how long you're out there.
Right.
It's hours. Okay. It's like 4-6
Oh
hours.
my gosh.
It's
Yeah.
a long time. Everyone is sunburnt. Everyone's dehydrated at the end.
Right.
Most of the people in that river are drunk at the end as well. And
Of
so
course. Yeah.
halfway down that float, something like we got another group like connected to like I don't know. It's a really cool environment if you've ever been. So they get into a fight.
Oh no.
He was like, "Why don't you just go with them?" And he's like, "They were literally lesbians. They're not interested in me. Like it wasn't even like that. They
Yeah.
liked the music that we were listening to." And she was like, "Just go then, whatever." Then it was like, I'm gonna pop your raft, cut her free.
Oh.
We don't want her in our barge
Oh
anymore. Like
my
it turned.
gosh.
It was like fun day on the river, and then it was just like, oh my god, how much
Oh.
longer do we have to
Yeah.
float?
At what point
By
on the
the
float
way,
did this happen? Was it early on in the float when
it
this
was like
happened?
half. It was like at the 50%
Oh,
mark.
man. So you had to float with this
We had
crazy
like at
person.
least 2 hours of floating with like a crying girl
Oh,
who's
no.
bitching about whatever, and then my brother just being like she
Whatever.
said something. So this joke still exists in our family, actually. She said something. She called him stupid. And then a little bit later, she was like, can you da da da? And he's like, I want to do it, but I'm just too stupid. So every fucking thing. So it was like, we're now in the truck trying to drive back because we also
Mhm.
had a 3.5 hour drive back home.
Oh, man.
So we're in the car and I was like, hey, do you want to stop and get something to eat? And my brother's like, I want to eat, but I'm just too stupid to do it. And we were like, oh my God. That day we were like, I gotta get out of the car. 2 or 3 days later, like, I'm too stupid to do it is the legit family joke. My son, we were at Thanksgiving and I was like, hey, if you get a chance in front of Uncle Jason, I need you to say I would do it, but I'm too stupid. And sure enough, my son gets up to get something,
Mhm.
and my brother is like, hey, can you grab me a napkin while you're up? And Brent's like, I want to get you a napkin, but I'm too stupid to do it. And we all just died. Like, it's so funny. But yeah, it's those awkward drives are the worst. So I'm really glad my joke landed
Yes.
as a joke, and you guys weren't immediately like,
Mhm.
listen, we don't tolerate the F word.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we
They
don't like
could've
you
Yeah.
talking shit about bitches. Because I would have really been sad.
Yeah. So when we met, I was a worship leader at the church. So I was playing music and leading worship, and so it would have been like really easy for you to be like, she's definitely not gonna wanna.
She is a hardcore Christian.
She's for sure got a
She doesn't even
lot
say
of
the word hardcore because that's against her
hardcore.
religion.
Exactly. But yeah, so after that, we just hung out. We just kept hanging out. We kept having game nights,
Yeah.
we went to
That
church
was like,
together.
we got the ball rolling with
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
comedic timing, and we just kept it
exactly.
rolling from then.
We just kept it going, just kept having fun. And then many, many, many years later, I moved. You were still in Arizona. I don't
That
know
was
if it
like
was
2017 or
I don't
2017.
yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was when I had that emotional breakdown when it came. I don't know. At one point we were at the airport though.
Oh, yeah, it was that
Yeah.
same trip.
Okay, so we were at the airport. We had
So
had a
that
week
was probably like
together.
right after COVID,
Mhm.
2021 maybe.
Okay. So we had a week together. We were at the airport. We had some time to kill. You and I were just hanging out in the car while I was kind of having my emotional breakdown. A little bit of one, not very much of one. Um, and I remember there was this pause. There's kind of this break in the conversation, and then you were like kind of about to say something. Like I could sense there was about to have we were about to have a conversation about something, and I could sense your kind of discomfort, right? And you just said, so I think you said something like, I'm not sure how you're going to react to this, or I'm not sure how to say this. There was something to that effect. I don't remember the exact words. But you were like, I don't go to church anymore. Like I don't practice organized religion anymore. Like I'm not sure how you're going to feel about that. And I was like, girl, same.
Like, but you didn't tell me. Like, I think because we had met each other, we were like church
We
friends.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it.
And
Like,
we
I
didn't
didn't
talk about it at all. And I was like, our friendship
Mhm.
was based on like the fact that we
going
met at church. And
going to
what does that mean for
there.
us going forward? It was so scary.
This was really funny though that we both were like kind of concerned about that because even though a lot of our time was spent at church doing church events, helping with the church stuff. Like you were the sound technician for my like leading
Yeah.
worship a lot of times, right? Um we weren't like overly like spiritual. Like we didn't use a lot of like spiritual language when we were talking. It
No.
wasn't like that wasn't necessarily the focus of our friendship. So it was, but all of our friends that we had game nights with were other people we met at our church. All of our social interactions were related to our
Yeah.
church and the people that we went to church with. And so but when I left, I stopped going to church when I was there in Sierra Vista, and then we'd never continued when we came to Texas. And, you know, we just didn't talk about it until until that moment. And then I think there was just both a sigh of relief from both of us that was like,
Yeah. I
"Oh,
think that was
it's
like
okay. Like we're gonna be okay." Like,
I think that conversation was something that definitely like leveled up our friendship because we were both able to be open and authentic about something. I mean, we had always just been like a great time.
mhm,
Like we always have fun when we were together. Um, but I think that like deep emotional connection
mhm,
really started at that point where it was like, okay, I can trust
mhm,
that I can tell April something and she's not going to run away from me, or
mhm.
it's not going to be too much for her, right?
Right.
And I really think that for me at least,
Mhm.
um that was like a really pivotal moment for me. I
Moment.
think telling you guys about my marriage was one. That
Mhm,
that was kind of the start of that, which my marriage also ended my friendships with the most of the church people. Uh
mhm. Yeah.
sorry, there is a gnat in here. Um
Trying to get in your eye.
right. Oh my gosh. So the um my marriage ending
Mhm,
affected all of my relationships with the people that I had gone to church with, specifically because the affair that my ex-husband was in was with a member of the church.
mhm.
And so it really kind of put a gap and tested me in a way where I was just like, now I have nobody, right?
Yeah.
Because typically when you're going through hard times, you lean on your like church
Your
family to kind of
community.
help you through that.
Yeah.
And because this particular woman was a member of the church leadership, it was
Mhm.
impossible for me to do that. And so
Yeah.
I was kind of tossed to the
kind of
wayside, right? We
floating
have
out
to
there.
protect the church. We have to
Yeah.
protect the church's image, and
Mhm.
therefore you're kind of on your own. And it was a
Yeah.
couple of months before anyone from the church reached out to me at all regarding
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so that was really scary. But I had
Mhm.
you guys for that. And
Yeah.
then later when I was finally like, "Ugh, I don't believe in hell. Like, I don't think there's a hell. I don't think we're
Yeah.
going to hell.
Yeah.
I think we're
Yeah.
allowed to have a beer and not go to hell." Like,
Right.
no, not that that was a thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Well,
just,
maybe we'll do an episode at some point about like deconstruction and
yeah, I think that
changing
would
your
be a really good
mind,
one.
deconstructing your beliefs. Because, we were both raised in very, very evangelical spaces.
Hmm.
I think that because we've both deconstructed those beliefs and have expanded our experience of what God is, what God can be,
Yeah,
that because we both come from those high control religious spaces, I think you and I are able to understand each other in a way that our partners can't understand us. Like John wasn't raised in a religious home.
yeah, neither
Um,
was my partner.
yeah, and I know yours wasn't either. And so, a lot of it for John was like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, that's crazy. Why, Um, and but you and I have always been able to kind of talk about those experiences and reflect on those experiences and know how impactful those experiences were to our psychology and our sense of self. And what does it mean to be a woman in a patriarchal religion?
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, there's a lot definitely to
And what
unpack.
does it mean to still stay um, connected in a
Mhm,
way that, there is a greater meaning for all of us,
mhm.
right? It doesn't have to be this one thing that um, the creator, whatever we want to call it, right?
Yeah,
Still knowing that order exists and there is still, magic in the world, like going
yeah,
back into the forest. So,
yeah, absolutely. That we can connect to God in a variety of ways. And
yeah,
also that the way that we think about God, um, a lot of times just depends on our own psychology.
yeah,
So God really ends up being kind of what we call in psychology like a Rorschach, the ink blot test,
yeah,
where somebody looks at this ink blot and then you say, "Tell me what you see." You can do that. You can look at people and you can say, "What is it you believe about God?" Imagine God is the Rorschach, right? It's the ink blot. It's the mystery. And then you ask them, "What do you think about God? Who do you think God is?" If God is this authoritarian, looking down at you from the sky, ready to strike you at any moment, right? A punishing God, that tells me a lot about your psychology.
yeah,
And probably there's a lot of shame and guilt and self punishment and fear that's guiding behavior. Now, if somebody tells me, I feel held by God, I feel God is loving and kind, and um, when I make a mistake, He's gonna carry me through that. And there is no judgment or shame or anything like that. That there's God is more a God of grace. Then their psychology is going to look a lot different.
yeah,
They're gonna react to people with more grace and more humility and more kindness. So, God for me as a psychologist has really come to mean, anytime I have a client come in and they're very, very, very religious, and if they want to talk about God, I never bring religion up or politics in my practice. But if my therapy client brings it up, then it's something they want to talk about, they want to explore. So for me, I never assume that I know what God means to them. I never assume that I know anything. They might say, I'm a Christian. I have no idea what that means.
yeah,
Right. Um, and so a lot of times when we start to dig into, well, what is that? How do you think about God? What does it mean to be a Christian to you? How does that impact the way you think about your sense of self? We start kind of untangling a lot of that so they get a better knowledge of what God is to them. You start to realize that God is this all things and nothing, right? It's this big mystery. So, yeah, I think you and I have a lot of fun
yeah.
talking about those things. Something we
I think
talk
that'll
about.
make a great episode.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyway, I guess, yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah,
That's how we got to where we are now. And we're just staying curious about each other and
Birds,
birds,
migration,
God,
our relationship,
um, anything
creator,
else?
energy, summer solstice.
Yes.
All of it. I
Um,
just want to know everything.
I do, yeah. So, well, how do you wanna wrap this up? Think we
Um,
said a lot?
well, I
Think
think
we
I'll just say bye.
bye!
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.